Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to another edition of the Shuwatch podcast. I'm your host, Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir, and here with me is a friend whom you have seen many times on the channel. Give it up for Kaiju novelist and all-around great guy, Matthew Denian.
Thanks for having me back, everybody. We have something really cool and exciting to discuss with you guys today, do we not?
Absolutely, Matt. So, over the last couple of videos that you and I have produced and collaborated on together, we have mentioned a charity project that you had the idea of, and we have slowly but surely have been building towards together, while as we bring in many people from various kaiju backgrounds into this project of ours. And that project is, of course, Kaiju versus Cancer, a charity program that we have finally gotten off the ground, and we decided to make this special episode of Shuwatch for you guys to let you know what Kaiju vs. Cancer is all about, what sort of details we have in store for you guys, what we have in store for you for the future, and basically give you all the information, all the facts you need to know if you are interested in supporting our cause. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yes, and we certainly hope that you are interested in supporting this cause, because it's a really great cause, we feel like. So the thing that got this whole Kaiju versus Cancer started was some terrible news on the part of your and my mutual friend, Chris Martinez. Chris being the creator of Fire Beast Oregon and the Night of the Fire Beast comic series. And Chris was actually the guy that introduced us. I think we told the story before, but I'll never forget it. I think it was 2 years ago, G-Fest 3 years ago. Chris had said to me, because Chris and I had worked together on a couple projects by that point, Chris had said to me, like, hey, we're giving Andres an award. You got to be there. And I was like, I don't know who the hell this Andres guy is, but yeah, I'll hang out. So,
I suppose anyway, me being the #2 kaiju novelist behind Jeremy Robinson, I suppose I can give some of my own time to this kaiju noir Andres fellow.
Yeah, well, I was, waiting to find D-Man there to get on his show, but it's just, I hadn't quite reached that level yet, so I was like, all right, I guess I'll go Kaiju Noir. But in all seriousness, Chris did introduce us, and, we've become good friends since then. Obviously, as this is now, like, my 10th appearance on your show? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I know always have fun.
And we've had so many collaborations, I now have my own section on your website.
Yes, you do. And it's all in order now for people who haven't checked it out in a little bit, because Andres is like, Matt, it looks like my YouTube channel just threw up on your website. Put some order to it.
I demand organization.
Yeah. It's sectioned off now by noir films and monster reviews and shoe watches and
emanations.
Emanations, yes. We're not going to get into Godzilla Monster Planet again, but yes. So those things.
Until later this year.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should definitely go back and finish that off, shouldn't we? We'll definitely do that.
We'll do an addendum in the future.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Our good friend Chris Martinez unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer, and it was kind of like a bummer, to say the least, for everybody who knows Chris, because aside from being a tremendous artist and author, Chris is just a super cool guy, right? I mean, he's
an amazing friend. He's very supportive. He was pretty much the guy who, along with James Biggie, were like the biggest guys who were pushing me towards, making my own comic. He was always supportive from the very beginning, and he's also like an incredible inspiration for someone who has this like integrity to go out there and do his own original work, as opposed to relying on the what so many other artists do, which is creating art based off of other more popular characters. He has always wanted to strive to make something out of his own original material that's still inspired by the things that he loves, so it's something new and familiar at the same time. And I've always respected that about him, and that's sort of been my that's always served as like a driving point towards me as well. It's kind of like his mentality and that sort of artistic integrity kind of rubbed off on me as well.
Yeah, so Chris and I had started out kind of around the same time, I think, and his comic came out and my first novel came out within a few months of each other. And I had worked kind of 4 other authors before when I was doing the G Fantas versus Guest Monster series, where I would do a story using another author's character and basically just send it to them to look and make sure it's okay, and they send it back to me and run it from there. But Chris was the first guy who actually worked with me on a story where we had like a lot of back and forth, and I would write a decent amount of it. He would check on it, say, let's try this, let's try that type of thing. And it just was super cool. And from that experience, we both just wanted to work with each other again, and we ended up doing the short Atomic Rex versus Doragon comic for GFan, which was a blast to do with him too, and worked out really well. So when Chris had contacted me that he unfortunately had cancer, and we've all known people in our lives who've had cancer, and I wanted to do something for Chris and with Chris as much as possible that would be a positive thing, to kind of maybe put a little bit of a silver lining on this horrible disease that Chris is fighting. So I had briefly said to him, like, hey, what if we can put together a charity to raise money for St. Jude Children's Cancer Research Hospital? And he thought that was a tremendous idea. So as soon as he thought that was good, you were the first person I contacted, knowing that you also feel strongly that it's important to help out other people. And I knew that you would have a lot of the connections we needed to bring this project together. So.
Mm-hmm. So it feels like this was kind of like the culmination of like the last couple of years of our G-Fest experiences, through where you and I have not only met each other, but a large, very supporting group of individuals who are both extremely friendly, very kind, and amazingly talented. And this was kind of like our chance to bring everyone together to unite them for like a single cause. Almost like, this may sound incredibly silly, but it's almost like the plot out of a Eiji Tsuburaya film, where it's like all the countries come together to face against one single threat. Or like a Destroy All Monsters situation where all the monsters gathering together to fight King Ghidorah.
It's very much so what it's like, and the monster we're fighting is a real monster, so that's why we needed as many people on board as we can. For people who don't know what St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is, it's a hospital for children specifically with cancer, and anyone who goes there, they don't pay any bills. The hospital covers their medical care, covers their housing, covers their food for them and their entire family, specifically focuses on children with cancer, and they're funded predominantly through donations, just from general people. So like you said, when we put this idea together, we've known from other things that we've worked on how caring and interconnected the Kaiju original creator community is, correct?
Right. It is somewhat of a small niche thing, but it's still very it's small but very strong and very dedicated bunch of individuals, I would say. And,
right.
I would say it's slowly been growing thanks to people like you who has been helping like promote these people and getting their names out there, whether it's through like collaborations with GFan magazine or by your own collaborations with your own crossovers with your own like characters like Atomic Rex.
Yeah, so we reached out to quite a few contributors. I think we have almost 20 now authors, artists, and YouTubers who were super willing to participate in this endeavor of ours. Mainly because most of them knew Chris, so they were like, yeah, for Chris, I'm doing this. And then quite a few others were just like, yes, this is a really good idea and a really good cause, and I'd like to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So just should I throw out some of the names of people we've got on board with us?
Absolutely, sure. Go ahead.
So, of course, we have you, Andres Perez, Kaiju Noir, myself, Matthew Denian.
Right. I'm, of course, bringing in my giant robot Draco Azul into the mix. You are bringing in Atomic Rex, Chimera, and a whole bunch of characters from your own original books.
Right. All of my characters on the table. Atomic Rex, Chimera, Operation Rock, Kaiju Corps, Kaiju and the Crime Fighter, everything I've done. Chris Martinez with his entire Doragon catalog of monsters. So Doragon and Triceras and Garon, the mighty Pangoro.
Absolutely a fan favorite.
And then as well as Giganto, King Rex, and Robo Triceras for Chris. There... And
sorry to bring it up, his giant robot Prometheus.
Oh, yeah, Prometheus. And from there, we brought in a whole lot of other people. We've got
Let's see, we have Tyler Souls, who is bringing in his character Durantis, the Lost Serpent.
Yep, we've got Chris Nigro, our good friend, who's bringing in Mega Drake, and Dragula, who also worked for Severed Press. We have our fellow YouTuber, or your fellow YouTuber, I should say, in Crooked Lore, who's lending Augustine, the Crooked Man, as well as Belle, the Crooked Cat Girl. So we have quite a few ideas for them to be part of this fundraiser. They're very cool.
Right. We have Denny Roth, who's bringing in like Crystar. I almost said Crystalac, but no, that's a different pink crystal monster. Crystar, who was a bit of a fan following with his characters. Also Steve Tao, who's bringing in his like Project Atheos characters, as well as Gigaraptor. Let's see. We have Keith Foster bringing in Kodoja. We have James Biggie and Frankie B. Washington bringing in Robot God Akamatsu. Jeremy Robinson bringing in, Leviathan?
Yeah, Jeremy Robinson's Kronos will be a part of this.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. You have Frank Parr is lending Arrakis as well as his Wendigo monster to this. We have...
Oh, Raph and Shoma, who's bringing in his own like red-yellow dragon monster of the same name.
Right, we have the redesigned Deadpoolzilla as a dinosaur of pure zaniness, which I know you had a hand in as well.
Yeah, the DPZ.
Yeah, we've got K.H. Kohler, who's lending us her Goliath as well as her Raiju character. Okay, so we also have some asshole named Mark Denyon. Yeah, I don't know much about him, but no, he's my brother.
Other than he shares the last name and the same parents.
Yeah, so we've been told. No, he's my brother, and he wrote a very cool book about characters who use grammar and English to fight villains, and he lent us his Thesaurus Rex character, who's like a dinosaur that can give you a synonym for any word. But he's part of it. John Opal, who works with me on my independent stuff, is lending us Gorgonite and Gargantosaurus and Masquerahi. Can you say that? I always screw it up.
Well, how do you spell his name? Or actually, let me just look for him.
Yeah. Mascara Gigantus.
He's your own character, and you can't even pronounce it.
Yeah, I try to be authentic and make it Spanish, and I can't say it correctly.
Let's see, where is this guy? I'm trying to look. Oh, there we go. So we got. Let's see, where is this? Oh yeah, Mascara Gigantesca.
So saying that, yeah, you've got that tongue roll that I don't have for Mascara Gigantesca.
And it's really sad that's really sad because I am really shit with Spanish.
Hey, listen, you've seen me. I'm as white as they come. I really can't say it. So.
Well, you have an excuse.
True.
I came from Spanish-speaking parents, and I still can't speak the language fluently.
What the hell? And then you're teaching English in Japan? What's wrong with you? Come on.
No, I'm a terrible Mexican.
We also have the characters I've co-created with John Opal, who's doing quite a few pieces of art for this charity, like Talos from the Kaiju and the Crime Fighter, and our version of Gargantosaurus. The Draugr character, who John is really proud of, is kind of like a Frankensteinish type monster we did for a short story. Our good friend and Shoma has lent his characters to us as well. Mm-hmm. In particular, I'm going to say this one too, Commander Baith and Lieutenant Alphon. Did I say that right?
Let's see, I'm not sure who those characters are.
Those are the ones you told me to promote. So
yeah.
That.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at them in myself. Yeah, Commander Baita and Lieutenant Alphon. Right.
Okay, Baita. Robert Galvin, who worked with me for the Kaiju Anthology this year, has lent us his Gorgod character. We recently picked up the YouTuber the Omniviewer, yeah, who's lending us his snazzy Chapeau. I'm going to say that too.
Chapeau. I'm very sorry, Omniviewer. Yeah,
he's also recently got a book published, so those characters will be added on soon too with Severed Press. I don't want to steal his thunder, but so good for him. We mentioned Tyler, right, with Durantis the Lost Serpent. I can't wait to see some of the stuff Tyler does. He's worked with you, right?
I know that he's planning on, like, a couple years back, he made I commissioned him, I believe, for a piece for title card piece for the episode of Shuwatch he appeared on with Draco Azul and Durantes clashing. So he wants to do like a remake of that. I know.
And we've also got my good friend Zach Cole with his Mario Gra character from Kaiju Epoch. I'm a big fan of Zach's work, actually. Zach also recently redid Mascara Gigantesca. I screwed it up again, I'm sure.
That's
but
okay.
he redid that because I'm going to be re-releasing that as a digital download for $1 a piece, and all the proceeds are going to help fund Chris's medical bills.
Okay,
so,
excellent.
yeah, Zach was very cool to redo that. I should have that up soon too, as well as his version of Prometheus too, and a giant robot, which I think somebody's doing for us, right? Like a bunch of giant robots. Is that?
Yeah. We have Steve Tao, who's going, aka Winter Gaia, aka Rapid Gear, who's going to be doing like a piece like solely dedicated to the giant robots, and he's got another piece in mind for like doing like a chibi version of all of our characters together.
Which I can't wait to see. And we picked up Wilson Ramos Jr., who does Team Kaiju for Section 8 Comics. Has joined us as well. So quite a few talented people from all different walks of the Kaiju genre. Like I said, authors, artists, YouTubers, and a lot of credit goes to you, Andres, for helping bring all these people together as well. I mean, you knew a lot of these people, especially a lot of the different artists, and helped bring them into this. So thank you so much for that.
Just trying to do as much as I can. We also have a couple other YouTubers who are helping us more on the promotional front. People far more popular than you and I. People like D-Man1954, Goji Fan 1993, and Brandon Tenold of Brandon Tenold's Cult Movie Reviews.
Yeah, and a huge thank you to those guys too for
absolutely
helping us promote this.
They are just as important to this endeavor as much as our artists and writers with their own characters. And I the words can't describe how grateful I am for all of these people. And I just want to give a big thank you here on the podcast to everyone else who has expressed their interest in being a part of this project of ours.
Yeah, and before we go any further, I just want to let everybody know that none of the contributors are receiving any funds that's collected for this
right. This is
charity.
This is purely a non-profit procedure.
Right. All the money collected is going directly to St. Jude's, and it's helping out sick kids with cancer. So just so that's very, very clear.
Yeah, and luckily we were able to have thanks to, we're starting off selling T-shirts first and foremost through Custom Ink, and luckily they made the procedure much more very, very streamlined by having all the money go. They take the money and give it directly to St. Jude Children's Hospital. I'm not sure how it's going to be like if we find a way to start producing art, like prints of art. And other such products, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I do want to mention before we move on that there is a separate crowdfunding campaign going on for our friend Chris Martinez himself, and that is on GoFundMe, where his family actually came forward and made this GoFundMe for Chris, describing that he's had stage 4 colon and liver cancer, tumors in his spine. They mentioned the severity of his situation, and just ask for donations here. And we have shared both the links to the Kaiju versus Cancer Custom Ink campaign, but we have pinned the GoFundMe account directly onto our Kaiju vs. Cancer Facebook page. So when you go to our page, you'll see that, and every dollar counts. Every little bit of any little bit going towards Chris will help out tremendously for him and his family. And we implore that if you can, anything helps. If we implore you to help in any way possible, if you can do so.
Yeah, and Chris recently had another setback, unfortunately. So he was back in the hospital. He seems to be doing a little bit better now, thankfully. Yeah. But anything we can send to Chris would be greatly appreciated by him and his family, and you and me, as well as all the other people who are a part of this. Because pretty much everybody who knows Chris was like, "Yeah, I'll help out." Chris is such a great guy. Anything I can do to help, promote something that he's behind seems to be the way to go. So
right. Let's see. As going back to our contributors, we did want to mention big special thanks to James Biggie, the graphic designer. You've seen him do a lot of variant cover arts for IDW, like for G.I. Joe or Judge Dredd, Revolution, Archangel, and even did cover art for the first issue of Godzilla Rage Across Time or Rage Against Time.
Oh gosh, one was the old Dark Horse one, and the other one's a new one. I want to say it's Rage. I want to say it's Against Time. I think Rage Across Time is the old Dark Horse one. But
okay, so it's Rage Across Time. That's the IDW miniseries. So yeah, he did the variant cover for Godzilla Rage Across Time, and he designed the logo, the official logo for Kaiju versus Cancer, and he's even created our little mascot of ours, which is kind of like this Ultraman-esque alien kaiju sort of monster, like Balton or something like that. It's really nice. I love the use of like red and yellow and black and white. Helps pop out. And we got variations of those. He was able to make variations of those logos for whatever shirt design or print design we have in the future.
Yeah, and he did all those variations very quickly and without complaining, and we can't thank him enough for what he's done. So, James, a huge, huge thank you for helping design that for us. And then, additionally, Chris Martinez did do the artwork for the first shirt, I guess we should mention.
We'll get into that.
The first shirt is My Atomic Rex with Chris's Doragon, and Chris did that a little while ago when he was healthier, but we thought that would be an appropriate one to do originally, more so just because Chris designed it and it has Chris's most prominent character in it.
Right. Both of your most prominent characters.
Right. Atomic Rex is kind of synonymous with me at this point. So with Atomic Rex there too. And we wanted to give a big thank you to Frankie B. Washington, who really helped kind of streamline what the shirt looks like, because for all my writing prowess, I don't have much of an art background. So I kind of designed one shirt and thought it was pretty good. And Frankie was like, oh, dude, you've got to do this, that, and the other thing. And it looks so much better after Frankie's help. So big thank you to him as well. And did you want to talk about the tribute he did for Chris? I think that was tremendous too.
Yeah, absolutely. So Frankie immediately came swinging with a large tribute piece to Chris Martinez's Fire Beast series. So he's got a lot of characters that you have seen from the first two Fire Beast comics, as well as more characters that have yet to make an appearance in the Fire Beast book and the Atomic Rex versus Dorugan crossover mini comic. So we got Dorugan, we got Triceras, Robo Triceras, Garan, Giganto, King Rex, Prometheus, and Pangoro all together. Like, it's so amazing for for Frankie to go out of his way to take all of Chris's characters and just smash them together in a giant like free for all melee like kaiju combat sort of thing here. And so this Fire Beast tribute was an amazing piece, and we are currently using it as like the banner for our main page, as well as using it for the main title card for this particular podcast here. And we're very grateful for Frankie to go out of his way to do this sort of thing, and hopefully we'll be able to, once we're able to get prints done, this will definitely be like the very first one out the window to make posters of.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks tremendous. So I would hope that we can figure that out. And we are looking to getting prints done. Like you said, it's just going to take a little bit of time for us to figure out the best venue through which to sell them, where we can get the most money to the charity, or all the money to the charity, I should say. That's what we want to do. So.
Right. And if anyone has any suggestions, please let us know in the comments below or on our own Facebook page.
Yeah, I'd be greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. So now, as for the T-shirt itself, so we got the piece that you mentioned of Atomic Rex versus Dorugan. We have the names of the characters below the artwork. On the back, we have St. Jude Children's Hospital on the top of the back of the shirt. We have a black and white variation of our logo, along with our tagline: "Giant monsters can beat anything."
Yes.
So we're currently. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, which is real quick. I know that fans of the genre are well aware of the fact that kaiju giant monsters are known for engaging in fights and stuff. But with your support and your help for everybody who's listening to this, we can take that and make it a real world thing where we can, help fight cancer with our monsters, with your guys' support. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Absolutely. And so we're currently selling the shirt in black because we know that this is like the best kind of color to go with in terms of like monster art. Most of our monster art. Are there options to sell them in multiple colors at the same time, or are we only allowed to sell in one color?
Looks like just one color for right now, but if we sell a lot of shirts and people leave comments on a Facebook page that perhaps they would like a different color, we can do a new version of it and run it as a separate sale.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, so it's not like Society 6 where you can like pick your shirt and then pick your color.
No, we had to pick it kind of ahead of time, and you and I really deferred to a lot of the artists in the group on this who definitely seem to think black was the way to go. They know more than we do about this kind of thing, so we went with that. But if we do get a lot of feedback on the Facebook page, like I know we looked at like a green shirt that actually looks pretty good, I want to say, right, and a gray one too maybe looked pretty good. So if people want different colors, please just leave comments here or leave them on the Facebook page, and we really just need 15 people to say they want a certain color. If we get that, we'll be more than happy to run that as well.
Right. The shirts are, let's see, American Apparel, USA made, jersey T-shirt, unisex, black. We have sizes from what is YS?
YS.
Young size?
Young small. It's young small.
Okay, from young small to triple XL. And so we have a goal of 50 shirts. We need to sell them within the next 25 days as of this recording, which is on the 18th of March. However, if we get at least 15 shirts, which we are very close to, again, as of the time of this recording, we'll be able to still make the shirts regardless. And you're given the option to buy a shirt as well as make an extra donation if you so wish to do so. Or you can buy multiple shirts if you want for multiple individuals.
Yes, there's also, it's on the Facebook page, the address. If you would like, you can purchase a shirt and send it to the kids down at St. Jude. So if you don't want a shirt for yourself, but you think this is a cool idea, and you can kind of double up the goodwill by buying a shirt and shipping it to St. Jude's Hospital. They'll give it to some kid there to wear too, which will hopefully lift his spirits or her spirits as well.
Right. And so let's see. So you can easily find our Kaiju vs. Cancer custom ink campaign on our Facebook page, or you can Google simply custom ink Kaiju versus Cancer, and you will still find it under the first results on Google.
Yes.
And let's see, anything else to mention about the shirt itself? Well, as we said, we have 25 days to go, and then once those 25 days are up, then we'll evaluate how well our first shirt did, and we'll come back with a new shirt, and I'm assuming with a new design, right?
Yeah, we have quite a couple on the table. Frank Parr, who does the Arrakis comics, has been kind enough to do some very kid-friendly artwork for us, so we might use that. Denny Roth, who's got a background in paleontology, does a tremendous thing. He's currently working on a piece of art with like a kaiju matador and a kaiju behind him, which looks tremendous in its early stages. So if that comes to fruition, that could be one that we either do second or third too. I'm sure we'll talk to the other contributors and see what we think might do well. We currently actually have Chris finished before his health went into through some complications. Right before his chemotherapy treatments, he actually did another collaborative piece with you, which was of Triceras from the Dorugon series, Firebeast Dorugon series, wrestling with Chimera from your very first novel. Yes, and that one's definitely in the mix too. I just didn't want to put necessarily two of my characters back to back. But it does have Chris's character too, so that might carry some weight. We'll pretty much leave it up to the contributors, I think, and discuss what we feel might sell best next and go from there.
Okay, yeah. And then let's see. And then next up we have another collaboration between my Draco Azul and your Steel Samurai from your Atomic Rex book.
Yes, and one thing about that one, which unfortunately Chris was ill, so he wasn't able to finish it right now, but we're going to have the two characters sort of look like they're fighting some unseen foe together, which was your idea, and I thought it was really good because it shows kind of like us standing united against cancer in that respect, where our characters through us united,
Right. So we'll be having like a collaborations where characters will either be fighting or teaming up with one another, or in the case of Frankie's Firebeast Tribute, both.
Right, and John Opal did a good team up with Mine and his Talos
Yeah.
character, yeah, and the new dinosaur Purzanius or DPZ, which the former Deadpoolzilla redesign, correct?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. So we got like a little thing where it's kind of an interesting setup where DPZ is like more in the foreground and Talos is more in the background. As if like DPZ is like taking up all the spotlight from Talos.
Yeah, John was kind of going for like a Deadpool Cable type feel with that, since DPG is supposed to be zany and Talos is kind of a very serious character.
Yeah.
It looks very good. You've seen it, right? I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
coming very, very well, and he's coloring it right now, so that'll be a color one. So that'll be in the mix too. But we're hoping to roll out a new shirt every month and a half to 2 months, without trying to overcrowd the market or anything like that. But
Right. And
that's the idea.
This will hopefully be like an ongoing situation where we'll be getting new shirts as time goes by and new art. So it's not like there's any time limit for any of our artists. Like they have to get this done by so and so time. Rather, it's like an ongoing thing. So there's a possibility that more people will be. We can get more artists to join in the mix and do their own takes on either their own characters with other people's characters or however they wish to choose to do so.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. However they want to do it. Like I know John Opal's also doing one with Augustine from Crooked Lore and the Jogger character of his and mine that's based off the old Frankenstein versus Dracula poster art. Terrible movie, but
right.
cool poster. So,
Right.
he's working on that right now. So, and I've been super impressed, Andres, by how much the artists, because heaven knows I can't do it, have jumped aboard to do art for this so quickly and so passionately as they have. It's been a real what's the word I'm looking for?
It's been
tribute.
a real treat. Yeah.
To Chris and a real accommodation for them. It's been fantastic that they've done it.
Yeah. And it's good to know that at least when it comes to like the t-shirt front, that we'll have quite a lot of material to work with for the next several months, perhaps maybe even to the end of the year at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I honestly do, because we've got at least 4 or 5 very good pieces of art finished or almost finished that we can roll out, relatively soon. So it should be very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's see. In terms of communication, we have the YouTube, my YouTube page right here, for anyone who wants to ask questions, you can ask me directly here on YouTube via the comments below, or, leave a comment directly on my YouTube channel. We mentioned multiple times the official Facebook page, which you can like to get all the latest updates on our campaign. Let's see. We do have, Matt and I have individual Instagram accounts, which I think might work better than as opposed to creating an official Kaiju versus Cancer Instagram account, since you and I have already kind of developed a following. I'm not really sure. We'll leave it up to you guys to let us know what you think. Until then, Matt and I have been promoting Kaiju versus Cancer on each of our own Instagram pages. We don't have a Twitter account yet, mainly because, like Matt and I, we have zero experience for Twitter. So if we do want to make one, we'll probably have another person who's more well-versed with Twitter to manage that front.
Yeah, I'll call the president, see if he can't help. He tweets all the time. I can help myself.
Great. So, anyways, and finally... let's see. I mentioned before, not only me, but we've involved other YouTubers like the Omni Viewer, Brandon Tennell, Goji Fan, D-Man, to help us out. And, if you are a YouTuber yourself and you want to also spread awareness, and you have your own YouTube channel or Facebook account or Instagram, or Facebook, what have you, you're free to do all the promoting you can get. Please spread the word. The more people who are aware of this, the more we're able to make a difference to these poor children.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's we're helping out kids with cancer. I mean, I can't see anybody being against that, right? So please feel free to put it out there as much as you can, and we would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's see. Is there anything else we should go over?
I think we've covered. Again, I just want to give you a huge thank you, Andres, because I came to you with this monumentous task, and you were more than willing to help out in any way possible, and have been tremendous in helping me navigate social media better and things like that in order to get this up and running, and I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, man, and thank you for inviting me to, giving me the inviting me along and bringing me along and giving me the chance to work on such an amazing project right here.
Yeah, well, it's not often we get the opportunity to have our hobby make a real world difference. So I think now that we do, we want to go at it full force, right?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. So let's see. With that said, for anyone else, if you want to have any further questions on the campaign, again, you can ask us. You can follow us on all of these different different avenues. The Facebook page. My YouTube channel. Let's see. You have your own Facebook page dedicated to your own literary works. Am I right, Matt?
Yeah, it's Matthew Denny on Facebook. Matt Denny is my personal one. You can contact me on either one of those, and I'm trying to put as much Kaiju versus Cancer stuff on both of those as well. So.
Right. So they can reach you there as well. Mm-hmm. And, of course, you can find me. You can find further updates on my Facebook account, on my Draco Azul Facebook page, on the Sons of Serizawa Facebook homepage, on Toku Legion, which is the Facebook group that my friends and I are admins on. Let's see, you can message us, find us and message us on Instagram as well.
My webpage, MatthewDenny.com, will have it up tomorrow. Kaiju versus Kencher on the 18th, I guess at this point, will be up today then too. So information can be found there as well.
Absolutely, yes. So once again, you can find the Kaiju vs. Cancer T-shirts on Custom Ink, and you can find Chris Martinez's GoFundMe page campaign on GoFundMe and all the other places that we have advertised it on. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening. I have been Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir.
I've been Matthew Denny, and thank you guys so much for your support with this charity and endeavor.
And until next time, everybody, take care.